Good morning, Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan, and welcome to another weekly sales meeting. Our first one of October, our first one of the fourth quarter. And in many ways, I think I could say Happy New Year. Happy New Year to our real estate community. Why would I say that? Because we live and work in an environment where there is about a 90-day sales cycle. So the work that we're doing right now, most likely, it's not a guarantee, but most likely is going to start to pay us in the first quarter of next year. And so as the universe conspires to fill our schedules with football games and trick-or-treating and friends in town for the holidays and Friendsgiving and Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and Giving Tuesday and Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa and everything else. There are plenty of distractions from our business. We want to stay focused and we want to stay committed. I know I talked about this last week, and hell, I might talk about it every week from here until the middle of 2025, because that is what it's all about. We have to be committed to our goals, to our business, to our outcomes, to all the opportunities that exist with respect to the real estate industry, the shifting market, and the ability to capture market share. We have a great session today talking about the most important, the foundation of every great real estate business, especially in Northeast Ohio. I'm going to share some data with you today that is, in a perfect world, going to compel you to behave a little bit differently. It's going to be some stats from my favorite bedtime reading, which is the 2023 Home Buyers and Sellers Generational Trends Report put out by the National Association of Realtors, which basically tells you who bought houses, why they bought houses, and how they chose their realtor. So there's a lot of good data in there that we're going to use to drive how we're going to behave for the next 90 days, next 900 days, next 9 years, as we build our business, as we are committed to the goals and the life by design that is afforded to us in this industry. Whoops. All right. Career nights. Our team leader, Eddie Donnelly, shot you an email yesterday, dropped a note in the Facebook group this morning about career nights. We have a ball at these. If you are looking to laugh, to cry, to get excited about what you already do, I encourage you to attend. And if you know somebody who is unfulfilled in their career, lacks the freedom, flexibility, or financial opportunity that they desire, or simply wants the opportunity to supplement their income as a dual career agent, we provide opportunities and resources for all of those folks. And the pathway to get into the mix in our organization is going to be via a career night or a meeting with Eddie. If you know somebody that can't make it to a career night, connect them with Eddie. He'll take care of them. But the career nights are a great way to get them in the room with other people and have a great big conversation. We have 3 of them this month. Next Monday on the 9th in Pepper Pike, the following Monday on the 16th in Rocky River, and then on the 23rd for any makeup on Zoom. So questions, comments, concerns, smart remarks, or physical threats related to career nights, please direct them to our team leader, Eddie Donnelly. And family reunion, you're going to hear me talking about this a lot. And a few people in this call are going to start hearing from some folks at KWRI. They have some massive goals around this particular opportunity. It is going to be, we're shooting for the largest family reunion ever. There's going to be hundreds of panels, and they need top talent to fill those panels. And we raised our hand as a leadership team and said, hey, I know some top talent right here in Keller Williams, Greater Metropolitan. So don't be surprised if you don't get a jingle from someone at KWRI wanting to learn a little bit more about your business and whether or not you are going to be a part of family reunion. If you get that call, take it. If you get the opportunity, go to family reunion. Guys, family reunion tickets are half the price they were last year. It's in Las Vegas. So, you know, even if you're like, oh man, I don't know if I can do a conference for 4 days, there are 1 or 2 other things to do in the city that we will be in. We already have about a dozen agents signed up, 6 months, 5 months out. So make sure you get your ticket now, and make sure you get excited for what's going to be a great event. All right. A segment that we have been doing for the last few weeks that I want to keep on doing is Caught You Winning. So we had a Tuesday morning scratch, as it were, on our Caught You Winning roster. And so I thought, hey, you know what? I'm not just going to drop this segment. I'm just going to open it up to the agents and say, hey, who did you catch winning this week? Who did something that you were like, hey, that was, you know, that was really good follow-up, or I'm doing a deal with this agent in the office, or I overheard such and such on the phone. They don't have to be on the call. You can just drop it in the chat or unmute and share with the group. Whoops.
I'll participate.
Hey,
Good
Maria.
morning. Good morning. I just want to say that caught Rachel Thompson from our office winning. She and I were able to work through a sale that had a few bumps in the road along the way. It was supposed to have closed 3 weeks ago, but today our commission check was deposited on that deal.
Hey,
I just want to say that it always is good to be able to be working with another KWGM agent. I think it made a big difference. We were able to work together, negotiate, never get, always stay even keel and calm about the situation, even though it came drastically close to falling apart. So I just want to say, I think that deserves a hurrah and an accolade today.
Amen to that. And hey, listen, as far as I know, in the few real estate deals that I've been involved with, it takes 2 to tango. So kudos to you for being a good partner in that transaction as well. And thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have anything? That was wonderful.
Yes, Maria, thank you so much for all your help throughout that time. It was stressful, but we made it out.
Love that. Love that. What do we have here in the chat? Just some congratulations. All right, last call for anything. Caught you winning. All right. Well, we're going to keep doing this from time to time. You know, there's this amazing little part of our brain. Allison Benoit says she loves the Leverage Center. Well, I think they love you right back, Allison, one of our loyal customers. There's this little part of your brain called the reticular activating system. And what it does is it scans subconsciously the entire world around you and picks up on things that you are looking for. And, the classic example of this is, if I asked you, if I asked Maria, hey, how many red cars did you see on your way to the office today? She would say, I don't know. I mean, she's maybe not even in the office. But if I told her, hey, I'll give you $100 for every red car you see, she'd start looking for them, right? And that's what this part of your brain does subconsciously, is it starts to identify whatever it is that you're priming it for subconsciously. And so what we want to do is subconsciously prime our brains to catch each other winning, to find the good in situations, to find the good in people, to find the good in the co-broke. And I think that as we do this more, we will have more and more of these. And it's always good to celebrate those things. above and beyond everything else. All right. Throwing it over to our broker for our broker broadcast with Andrew Ginter. He and I wanted to grab a few minutes of your Tuesday morning, just give you an update on some stuff that you are going to be seeing and hearing, if you haven't already, in the news, and just understand, hey, what does all this mean, and what do I need to be doing about it? So Andrew, I'm not a big daily periodical reader. I don't get the paper delivered, but I understand there's some stuff out there that is important for us as realtors to be aware of.
Yeah. I mean, I talked about this for the first time with our agents last week on the Broker Mastermind on Thursday, and discovered that nobody in that call had heard about this yet, which I am, I think, happier about than unhappy about, because one of the reasons we're going to start talking about these lawsuits that are flying around is so that you are getting information from us, as opposed to somebody who's out there spreading, fear or concern that's, less than legitimate. But there are currently 2 remaining enormous class action lawsuits against the NAR, as well as every big broker, every franchise broker under the sun, basically. And if you haven't heard about these, they're just starting to get settled in some cases. And so that's why it's in the news all of a sudden. These are actually from 2019. There's a case in Missouri and a case in Illinois, both class action suits, 1 buyers and 1 sellers, ultimately alleging that NAR rules are anti-competitive and, break the Sherman Act, basically. The singular rule that this is all based on is just the NAR participation rule, which requires listing agents to put compensation in the MLS. That's what this entire thing is based on, and that solely causes consumers to overpay. If you get on YouTube and look these up, you're going to see everything from this is no big deal at all to it's the end of the real estate world. And I don't imagine either of those answers are correct. But we're not going to get into great detail here by any means. But if you guys do have questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, I bring this up primarily so you know that we've got our hands on the pulse of that. And, my goal is to make sure that as things need to change, that I'm staying ahead of it and making sure that we as an office have what we need to have in place to make sure that everybody can continue to succeed and continue to do the business that we've all been, training and growing to be able to do as well as we can.
Yeah, I think one, I want to emphasize, if anybody has any questions, you can come to Andrew or myself with that. It's, if you feel like, hey, I heard this thing and, I heard this whole brokerage left NAR. What's that mean? What left the National Association of Realtors? What does that mean?
That was our first conversation on our Facebook page was, I think Joe Brown dropped a line about that on our Facebook page yesterday. There's not much to weigh in about that. I find that a terrible decision on Redfin's part, but I don't know that Redfin's done much that's been relevant for as long as it's been out of Seattle. But,
I think the point is, and Andrew, I know that we love all of our belief systems. We love all of the Y4C2Ts. I know your favorite is communication. That is typically the cause of and solution to all problems. And, that goes all the way up to these lawsuits, right? Is, what was communicated to clients, when it was communicated, did they get a buyer broker agreement signed? Did they clearly articulate how the seller's commission would be distributed? All those things. So it's like, know that from a functional standpoint, we're on it. We're here to help. From a question, comment, concern standpoint, you can come to us. We want to make sure that you expect over the course of the next 90 days, we're going to be talking about this more and more, and we're going to let you know as things come together. This is the thing we're going to do organizationally to better protect our agents and better protect their business and livelihood.
Yeah. And to be clear, I mean, there will be procedural changes.
Yeah.
Probably inside of the next 90 days that will probably begin to roll out towards the end of this year, that are primarily going to be a matter of paperwork changes. It's not gonna change the game on how you communicate with your clients and what you do for them, but rather at what points you're sharing what information, basically, is all that really is going to change.
Excellent.
So,
So
all
if
right.
anyone has any questions on any of that, give us a holler, and we are here to help.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, let's get into some upcoming training. We have a stacked calendar for the month of October. You will notice a theme. If you haven't picked up on the theme yet, it is very much business planning theme. And there is there's a lot of great stuff coming on here. One, we've got today, we're going to talk about your database and why that's so important. And this, the little things you can do to clean it up, because your database is going to be the foundation of your business and the foundation of your business plan. I promise you that. If you haven't attended before, spoiler alert. The other pieces on this, obviously the business planning clinic light towards the end of the month. On the 19th, we have a really great session led by our two talented, well-heeled productivity coaches, Eric Akbar and Wesley Croft. Those two gents are going to be taking these amazing business plans that you're going to build with Matt Sutter on the 16th and talk about putting them into action, right? And how do you get them organized? How do I build a schedule that delivers that business plan? How do I deliver the activities, the accountability, the coaching that I need to get there? That's what those folks will be focused on. And then as it'll probably be a little nippy come the end of the month, we're going to start talking about how winter is coming and how to, yes, we're in a 90-day deal cycle, but what would it look like to get another deal inside of November and December to really drive home some fun holidays. So let's talk about headshots this Thursday. We still have open slots, guys. I don't want to name names, but there are plenty of people in this organization who are due for a headshot update. Actually, I will name a name. Michael Rapaski. He's due for a new headshot. And there are a few others. But Omar is an agent in our office who also does some headshot work. He did some great work for us, as you can see, with some of our agents in Pepper Pike just 2 weeks ago. And then he will be doing that this Thursday in the Rocky River office. This is not exclusive for Rocky River agents. If you got blocked out in Pepper Pike, I promise you don't need to get a passport stamp to drive over to the River office. It'll be awesome. It'll be great. Please reach out to Kate at the front desk, and she will hook you up. And then a couple times a month, we're going to start hearing a little fireside chat action from our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. And they are just going to be breaking down all of the things that you need to know about the mortgage market at the moment. Our real estate market has tweaks and changes and things that evolve, and the same is true for the mortgage market. And so you want to be ahead on that, up on that, and understanding what is possible when it is possible for your clients and when it comes to mortgage products. And then we continue our take and teach, which is where we invest in a few agents and the opportunity to participate in a weeks-long MAPS coaching course, and then share their learnings with the rest of the company. Language of sales, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't heard this phrase yet, you're going to hear it a ton in the next 12 to 15 months. And that is, we are moving from a speed-based market to a skill-based market. Speed to skill. And so one of the biggest skills we need to master from the standpoint of setting appointments and negotiating contracts is the language of sales. The words you use matter. And so these three lovely individuals will be regaling us with everything they learned in a 6-week course through MAPS coaching around the language of sales. Big session. Do not miss out on that one. And then the trunk or treat returns and the chili cook-off as well. So please prepare for second place in both of those, as I will be participating again this year. and promise to bring the heat, not only with my trunk, but with my chili. So no, this is a great time. This is an excellent event to invite clients to. Set up a trunk, right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about cleaning up your database, and then you're going to go do that. Then you're going to sign up to do a trunk and a chili, and then you're going to tell everybody in your database to come visit you, right? And you're going to get a face-to-face, hand-to-hand touch at an event that you get to pass off as yours, right? That is run by our company. Take advantage of that in a big way and get signed up now, and then have a really easy excuse to invite everybody you know with kids or grandkids to come out and get some free candy. All right. And a quick shout out from our guy, Matt Sutter, who is our instructor for the business planning clinic.
Hey, Matthew Sutter here, and I am super excited to be coming to your area to teach the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Business Planning Clinic. And you know, over the past decade, I've had the great pleasure of coaching, training, and working with some of the top agents in the country, including a large number of the top 200 agents in Keller Williams. And one of the things I've noticed, when you look at the top agents over time, especially in a market like today, they're using a specific set of systems, tools, and models that are predictive of the success they're looking for. And I'm excited to be presenting this material to you and teaching exactly what Gary Keller invented through the MREA business models that allow top performing agents to know exactly the activities, focuses, tools, and strategies they need to implement to hit their financial goals next year. Now, I'm sure like most people, you have a big financial goal for 2024, and you are gonna walk out of this class with a very specific game plan and a very clear list of activities to do on a daily basis that when you execute on them will help you hit your financial goal, whether that's $1 million next year, 100,000, or anything in between or above. I'll look forward to seeing you here really soon.
Good stuff. I didn't really hear what he said. I kind of got lost in those blue eyes, but you know, I think it looked like he was excited about it. Now, guys, we have a tremendous opportunity here with the business planning clinic for 2024. We are 13 days away. And this is an opportunity that will not come back for another year. There is nobody at any level in the organization who is enjoying any level of success that is not doing it with a strong written plan that develops into a GPS, that develops into a 411, that becomes a daily activity. That is what this session is, right? You don't make $100,000 or $1 million or whatever your financial goal is. You don't make that in a year. You make it every day. And and knowing what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and why you're doing it is what the business planning clinic is all about. And I'll go a step further, right? Who would like $25,000 for their real estate business? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a head nod in the chat or in the, yeah. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people would. Okay. If you had $25,000 to invest in a business, would you invest it into a business that did not have a business plan? No, you wouldn't. I hope you wouldn't, or you wouldn't have $25,000. You wouldn't have a return on that investment. The idea here is you're a business owner. And the opportunity, and when you do business, when you go out and you're seeking opportunity to get into relationship with people and to sell their house or to help them buy a home, you're asking them to fund your business. Knowing how and why and when and where and what to do that is no different. Exists entirely inside of this business plan, right? So, you know, when we start to elevate who we are, we're not people who just open doors. Right? We're not people who put signs in yards, right? We are small business owners. We are entrepreneurs. And this is something that is necessary, whether it's real estate or a food truck or a foot spot, right? This is critical for you elevating your business and your life. So get there. Link is in the chat. We have very few tickets left. I hate to see anybody miss out. I already told you, post BPC, we're going to put it into action with our productivity coaches. Two guys that are great at business planning, great at accountability. You're going to want to be in the room there. All right. I think I talked over my time to get Janelle or Rick up here. But I am just going to jump right over to Cross Country Mortgage. All right. Our friends by the fire, as I like to call them now.
Yeah, you only got one of us today. Sean's on his way down to Tennessee.
We got the good one though.
You got the good one. You got the bad cop versus good cop, because Sean gives y'all the commentary about interest rates. He gives y'all the fluff. Well, I'm going to give you the reality of it all. Sitting here reading the headlines every day, it's more and more obvious to me that no one really knows what the heck is going on. Everyone's sitting here scratching their heads and saying how bonds should be doing this and how the economy should be doing that, and all the while none of it's playing out the way that they expect it to play out. And if you think about what we've talked about in the past, we should be knee and neck deep in a recession right now with rates falling and the Fed cutting, and none of that's happening. None of that's on the horizon either. And quite frankly, all we keep hearing is the nitpicking of every inflation and economic report, looking for the smallest signs of weakness. It just doesn't show up. Bottom line, despite all this stuff and all this talk of people way smarter than Sean and I, rates are still going up and they're not coming down anytime soon. Mm-hmm. Every day we keep losing a little bit. We keep getting just beat up by a little gnat, and the rates are slowly ticking up. And I don't think we're going to get well into the 8s or anything like that, but we're going to be in the mid to upper 7s for quite a while, which is about where we're heading at right now.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say, that hanging out in the 7s, it's a historical average, right? Last 30 years, it's about where we're at. Mm-hmm. And it's been my experience that as long as it's not moving, as long as it's not going up, if it stays flat, that helps buyers and the market kind of level set against the interest rates from the perspective of affordability. If we're constantly jumping a quarter point or a half point every 3 to 6 months, the market never gets to correct against affordability and buyers keep getting knocked out. But if you told me for the next 6 months, you're going to be at 7.5%, I think we're going to do business.
Yeah, I agree. I think 7.5 is okay. It's just, you don't want to have to start quoting any 8s. And, for a while we were talking about going to the 8s. You may touch 8 for a week, but reality is I think you'll be in these mid 7s for quite a while. When I say quite a while, you're talking Q4 through Q1, Q2 of next year before you start seeing any relief coming forward.
Yeah, I think that's
my opinion. That's not the smart guy's opinion.
Yeah, I think you got to start to see that recession manifest a little bit before there's going to be any opportunity to put downward pressure on it.
Right on.
All right, I'm sorry. I just figured, given that it is Rick Capretta's birthday, that he wouldn't be on. I guess if the meeting was tomorrow morning, he might not be in a position to do that. He's celebrating, I think, 32, 33. What do we got here?
46.
46. Man.
Yeah, that's a depressing number.
It's definitely a number.
No, I'm kidding. It's great. 46 is the new 45. So
hey,
really
all right. What do we got going on, man? You cruising to go pull a file from the county to save a deal? What's going on here? What's going on with the title?
I wish. You know what? Mr. Ginter kind of stole some of my thunder, because I was actually going to talk about that, because that's literally all I'm hearing at my other brokerages right now. So one of those brokerages is one of the ones that settled. So what is it? Anywhere? Is that what the old Realogy used to be? Mm-hmm. So they settled, and now Remax settled. So there's the two brokerages that are left are Berkshire and you guys and NAR. And NAR is not going to back out of this fight. I don't think Gary plans on it either, based on what I've heard. But at the end of the day, like you guys said, it's going to be business as usual. As far as the paperwork, all I keep hearing is about the exclusive buyer agency agreement is probably what these other brokerages are saying are going into effect almost immediately and mandatory by January 1st. So that's what I'm hearing on the streets as far as that's concerned. Otherwise, title.
All right, Rick Capretta, the man on the street. I like that new title for you. Just out there doing sidewalk interviews. I love it. All right, thanks, Rick. Team, more and more to come on that. Again, nobody's hitting the panic button. Our industry is solid. Your career, your business, solid. Lots of opportunity. Gina Legeza, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you. Good to be here. When we talk about all the legal things that I'm hearing on the street, something really important I thought I should mention. I'm noticing that homes are maybe staying out a little bit longer than usual. It's opening the gates for maybe folks to start putting and asking for a home warranty in their transaction. And I was thinking about our legal coverage, Michael. Every time that you put a home warranty on folks, if you should be named in a lawsuit, we're going to help with 75% of your E&O deductible just by putting a warranty on that deal and offering it. Super important that we're going to protect you legally. And I had the pleasure yesterday with working with one of our rock star agents on her personal home claims. Just kind of explaining coverages a little bit more in depth. We went to bat for her. We got things covered that weren't covered, which prompted me to talk to you guys about if you have anything that goes sideways, please feel free to reach out to me. I know this agent would tell you if she was on our call, I made it happen and I'll make it happen for you and your clients. I will go to bat. Step up, make you look good for your clients, repeat referrals, and just wanted to let you guys know that I'm here to do those kind of things. Please let me know about it. When I know about it, I can help. Wanted to talk about the legal coverage today because I think it's very important in a litigious society that you guys are covered. And want to thank everybody for your support.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Gina. And over to, I think I saw Liz on here.
I'm here.
Hey, Liz. So we just closed out September. I'm gonna give you a prompt here today. I think you had something like 40 deals. You closed 40 deals, coordinated 40 deals last month or thereabouts.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right. So my question for you today is, what is it? What is the one thing that what's your superpower that's allowing you to do that? Like if I'm sitting on this call and I'm wondering, hey, Liz talks every week. I know she does some transaction coordination, and I know that's something that exists out in the universe. But like, what is the thing that you're like, hey, look, I'm top 1% in the world at this, and some people their hair's on fire with one deal, and you're cool, calm, collected with 40.
I think probably it is that what I'm good at is systems. Is putting together the systems that are needed to get everything done when it needs to get done, make sure everything's taken care of so that we close on time, or at least in terms of like the agent side of things, you've done everything to close on time. We can't always control the lender, we can't always control the city point of sale, that type of thing. However, as long as we're doing what we're doing, we'll close on time. And I put together the systems to make sure that can happen. So, a lot of agents, like there's agent superpower is you're good at talking to people. You're good at getting business. That's not my superpower. But I'm good at the details.
Yeah, I think I want to just poke at that for one more second. So it is not only that you are good at building the systems, and it is that you're good at running the systems, right? Like you are somebody who I know I've talked to you about, like you're accountable to the system. Because if you handed me your system, I could not close a deal with that system because I don't have the intimacy and the familiarity of the process and knowing like this is a red flag trigger. This is the thing that needs to, that you kind of like you're doing more than playing jazz.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair, because the same system won't work for everyone.
That's right.
And the system that works best for you is the one that you will actually use. Mm-hmm. So the fact that I have, developed my own system that I actually use on a daily basis to make sure that everything gets done, that, all the emails get sent asking for updates from title and lender, and all of the documents are submitted in command. I found the system that works for me. And because of that, I'm able to do a lot of deals.
Well, I'll tell you, folks, I have a really strong system for transaction coordination as well. I'm actually using it. I had an opportunity for a commercial leasing opportunity. And so I just deployed my transaction coordination system, which is to hire Liz. Like, that is it. I have done that. I sent her the information and, you know, we're off to the races. Versus me finding time to put together a listing agreement and bounce it back and forth to for signatures and whatnot. So if you, you know, are maybe feeling like, oh gosh, I just got a lot going on, and shucks, I got another one under contract. The best transaction coordination system I've found is the Leverage Center. So something to consider. If you have more questions, Liz's number is there on the screen. Reach out to her. Liz, if you want to drop your email in the chat, and then we'll also get this updated so people can ping you that way. But take advantage of this, guys. Believe it or not, there are some brokerages out there that will not allow you to use a transaction coordinator. And here at ours, we are providing easy access to one with thousands of deals of experience. Okay, team. Whew. Now to the meat of the conversation. We're doing BPC Prep, and we're going to talk about cleaning up your database. Now, cleaning up your database feels a lot like cleaning up your room to some people. And before we just go through, here's everything that we need to do to get our database in order and here's what I want you to consider. We got to start with why. We got to start with why this is important. So you heard me reference earlier the 2023 annual home buyers and sellers generational trends report, right? This is breaking down every transaction that happened under the watchful eye of the National Association of Realtors. And then there's a bunch of survey data that goes out to all buyers and sellers. And they ask questions like, how old are you? Why did you move? How did you find the property you were looking for? What was most important to you in a realtor when you were selecting a realtor? And hey, how'd you find that realtor? The how you found the realtor section is by far the most compelling to me. Second to that is, what are the most important things your realtor does for you? If you want to look at, hey, what ponds do I want to fish in? And what do I bait my hook with? Those two slides, there's separate ones for buyers and sellers, but that's another conversation for another time. We're talking about database. So here's an example of one of the slides. This is how buyers found their real estate agents, and it varies by age, right? Varies by age. We're going to look at the all buyers section. Okay. So we're just looking at all buyers. So we've got folks referred by friend, family member, or friend, neighbor, or relative. They used that agent previously. They found it online. They went to a website. They don't know which website they went to. It could have been your website. They were referred by another agent. They got contacted by an agent. They were at an open house. They walked into an office. They were referred by their employer, and on down the line. Database. Why is database so important? Well, let's look at my friends, neighbors, and relatives should be in my database. Anyone that I bought or sold a home with previously should be in my database. Anybody that comes through my open house should be in my database. Look at that. There are almost 1 in 10 people who bought a home last year met the real estate agent at an open house. Can you imagine? Which is, look, it is shocking to me that a real estate agent would say, hey, I'm willing to, hey, anybody want to hold this open house? Right? It's worth, effectively, average commission in our area is $5,000. 1 out of every 10 people meets an agent at their open house. 10% likelihood that's going to happen. That's a real value of $500 every time somebody lets you work an open house. Personal contact by the agent. Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you talk to people, they are willing to do business with you. Guys, that is 64% of all buyers throughout the United States found their agent through a channel that I would consider database or database related. All right. So whatever your goal is, you can get 2/3 of the way there on the buy side by working your database. Remember, we're here establishing the why for the conversation, right? Now, here's the sellers. Here are sellers. Looking at all sellers again, referred by friend, neighbor, or relative, used an agent, personal contact, referred by another agent, went to a website. Guys, 10% of agent or of business came from websites here. Only 5% did. How much? It is twice as important, right? Or you're twice as effective, or you have half the competition from the internet with sellers than you do with buyers, because they're not looking to hire just anybody to, you know, what they perceive as open a door for them going on the internet. They're taking that more serious. And saw an open house. So look at this. Referred by an agent, used the agent previously, personal contact by the agent, direct mail, visited an open house or met an agent and met the agent, right? So all those people should be in your database, because you're going to have a 8x8 to follow up on open houses and all that wonderful stuff. 72% of sellers live inside your database. 64% of buyers and 72% of sellers, right? So we're gonna go to the middle there, and it's 68%. 68% of all your business, 7 out of 10 deals are gonna come from that database. So they're gonna be in that database no matter what, guys. And I haven't even touched on the idea that other real estate agents can be in your database and that you can communicate regularly with them. If you were at the Mega Agent Camp recap, Lisa Gaines gets about 70% of her business, her multi-million-dollar business, from being referred deals from other agents around the country that she consistently drips on. Your database is key. Now, listen, these are national numbers, right? And I was having a conversation with our broker just yesterday. Andrew Ginter and I are having a conversation about some of the marketing things that exist in the ecosystem. And, you know, when you start to think about high volume, high turnover areas like Arizona, LA, Miami, any coastal regions, right, where people are in or out, or they're playing the appreciation game, or they're high tourist or vacation sites like a Scottsdale or a Phoenix that you will see go way up and come way down. None of those people are from there. There is no database that exists full of people that I went to high school with in Phoenix, like for any Phoenix realtor, period, the end. They're all priced out of the market, and it's all being replaced by outside money. So that website piece, right? That founded online piece, those are through the roof in coastal and tourist and vacation cities. So if that's what's driving it up to 5 and 10 and 7% nationally, I mean, those are 2-3% maybe in Northeast Ohio. And your database, your relationships, your friends, your neighbors, your relatives, your past clients, that's an even bigger piece of the business in Northeast Ohio. So these are nationally 72% of sellers come out of database. I would say you're close to 80-85% in Northeast Ohio. There's also this thing. Has anyone ever heard, hey, 20 contacts or 20 real estate related conversations a day? Has anybody ever heard that? Is Pete Formica on this call? Because he would be, his ears are probably burning right now. He loves to talk about that. Mike Arco, you ever been told to make 20 real estate contacts a day?
Yeah, a few times.
A few times. Maybe it's in Bold, maybe it's coaching with Jeff Glover, maybe it's Gary Keller on the main stage of Family Reunion. Here's what's really fascinating to me, guys. Does anybody know what 5% of 20 is?
I believe that'd be one.
That'd be one. That'd be one. So if I make 20 contacts a day, right? Look at that. This is sellers and buyers. This is no joke. You can download the same document that I pulled this from. 5% of all transactions came through came through personal contact from the real estate agent. Hey, you called me. How many people have heard, oh my God, you called me at just the right time, right? Or you called me and then 2 months later, I call you back and say, hey, I lost my job. I need to sell my house, right? So if 20% of all the business is, or 5% of all the business is coming from 20 contacts a day, I'm going to stretch the math here, but if I made 20 contacts a day, I might be able to do a deal a day. I mean, because how's this? Nobody on this call, maybe, let me scroll down here. All right. A few people on this call are making 20 contacts a day. And some people are making none. They're making no contacts a day and they're still doing business. So these are not equal distributions across agents. If you're getting on the phone and just dialing your database, hey, how you doing? How are the kids? How's work? What's going on? How was the summer? By the way, remember I'm in real estate. Would love to help you if you need it. You're going to get your unfair share of this 5%. And make no mistake, guys, 5% of the 4.5 million homes sold is about 225,000 of the homes, right? So triple what we're going to sell in our entire market was just sold from a real estate agent picking up the phone and calling somebody that they already knew, or it could have been a FSBO or an expired or a stranger. You can just call the white pages. 5% of those people probably need a realtor. All right, now let's get to like what we're actually talking about today, which is cleaning up your database. Guys, I am an elaborate tagger. I tag my database probably 15 different ways. I've got everything from familial status, marital status, religious affiliation, how I know them, how I met them, where they went to school. Like I've got all of these tags so I can quickly grab and go and distribute information and content based on anything, not just real estate, right? But, you want people when they think of you to think of real estate, or when they think of real estate to think of you. Here's the thing. If we're going to really do all this stuff well, right? Get the referrals, be in contact with people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We just need 4 pieces of information. We just, at a minimum, if you've got 5 or you've got 50, that's awesome. You get to communicate in way cooler ways. When you look at your database, right? And this is from command, so you don't have to go through and build a spreadsheet and write sophisticated formulas. You just go look through your database, and this will tell you, hey, 85% of the people in my database right here, I have a phone number for, and 85% I have an email, 62% I have an address, and 47% I have tagged to a specific neighborhood. Okay. If I got somebody's name in there and I don't have a phone number or an email, I should probably inspect that a little bit. Does that live somewhere else? Is it in my phone, right? Is it in, is their email, like, do I have their email in my email, right? Did they send me an email? How'd they end up in my database? If I don't have either of those things, get them out of there. I have no way to contact them. If I don't have their address, Mike Arco, I can see you, so I'm just going to keep picking on you. What are you probably going to spend way more money than you want to on in either November or December, because Bria needs everybody to see those beautiful children of yours?
For that reason,
yeah, she needs everybody to know how good your family looks. You're going to get a lot of these too, so everybody else can tell you how good their family looks.
Photos,
holiday cards,
yeah,
holiday cards.
Yeah.
What's the budget for a holiday card in your household?
I mean, I will say a nice thing about my wife is she is very frugal, so she'll spend she'll spend 10 hours to save 10 cents on a deal. So I don't know what that cost. I just pay the credit card bill.
Here's the point of that, guys. A lot of you are going to be sending out holiday cards or Thanksgiving cards or Happy New Year's cards, or, let's have a great 2024 card. If you're not, you should really consider it, because it's an easy touch and a way for you to, be in front of your people, be on their fridge, be on their mantle, whatever it is. If I were to send holiday cards, I would, and I think I have about 900 people in my database. I only have addresses for 62% of them. So how weird is it that I would be in real estate but not know where people live? Like, that's like it's like if I was a doctor and I didn't have somebody's chart, right? If I was a mechanic and I didn't know what kind of car you drove, right? So not having the address is a big bogey, and it's a super easy one. You just shoot them a text and you say, hey, I'm putting together my mailing list for holiday cards, or for New Year's cards, or Thanksgiving cards, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Can I have your address so I can make sure you get one? I'm not going to say no to that. Maybe you would. Maybe of the remaining 38% of people that I don't have addresses for, half of them don't say, say, hey, no thanks. But if I get 18% addresses from 900 people to complete what's 18 times 9? It's 162 more addresses that I then get to capture, that I get to mail in, that I get to put neighborhoods to, that I get to drip on, that I get to call on, that anytime anything happens in Berea, I get to call Ginter about it, right? And when it happens in Lakewood, I get to call Lindsay Podizak about it. When it happens in anywhere, I know who lives there and what's relevant. But I can't do that without an address. So this is it, guys. This is the database cleanup process. If you don't have your database in, you can download your iPhone contacts into your command database with a few swipes. Boom, they're in there. Then you're going to get a database health score, and you're going to say, oh my God, I got phone numbers for people but no emails. I didn't put their emails in their contact. Awesome. Now you just go to the email and you say, okay, here are all the people I have. If you did that for 10 people a day and you just consolidated your database, hell, if you did it for one person a day, you'd have 89 more people by the end of the year. 89 more people with is probably good for what do we say, about 6% of people are going to trade houses next year. So right there's 5 deals. 5 deals if you just add a contact a day. You add 10 a day. What's 10 times 5? 50. Didn't need a calculator for that one. That's the opportunity that exists inside your database. But if we don't know where we are, we won't know where we need to get to. And it's super simple. If you get here and then you're like, oh my God, man, like I'm noticing, I see the patterns. I'm like Neo from the Matrix. I see it for what it is. These people are family. These people are past clients. These people are sellers. These people are buyers. These people are, these people are church people, and these people are football people, or whatever. You can do different things for different people if you want to, but you can't do anything. You can't even have a database conversation until we start ticking the box on phone number, email, address. So 3-step process to maximizing the fourth quarter and setting yourself up to really win through the shift. Get people into your database. You have a best-in-class database with KW Command, agent.kw.com. Super easy to add your contacts in. Opportunity to use the Leverage Center to do that. Get their information updated. Call them. Hey, I need your address. Text them. Hey, I need your address. Hey, I don't have a good email for you, and I was going to do this thing over email, and I wanted to make sure I had it. And then, scary stuff here, guys. Contact them. Contact them. Just talk to them every 90 days. Text, email, call, text, email, call. Questions? What questions do you have? as foundation of your business. If between now and the business planning clinic, you got this tightened up, I'm telling you, you would be able to roll that business plan into your database and have this thing start printing money for you. Great opportunity. Great opportunity. All right, team, that's going to do it for today. We are back next week to talk pre-BPC financials and get excited about that. Really important framework to go in with. And then we got the big show on Monday the 16th. If you don't have a ticket yet, get one now, please.